such bodies work to obtain for the continent what they can. So my point would just be of more general nature, which is that if the trend of a more resurgent Africa that works within the AU is to continue, I think this problem you raise will not be there for a long time, because I think in a lot of respects, at least in my experience at the UN, Africans have spoken with one voice more than even other regions. But of the particular thing you raised, I'm unsure, so I can't comment, but I can tell you that while we have some disagreements within the continent, there is still more coherence and more unity in African positions than even in some of the other groups who are negotiating groups within the UN system. So for climate issues, in terms of having credit related to this, I do not know whether it's an issue of knowledge of what is needed or is something else.
I mean, there are some topics which don't manage to bring everyone together on the continent. The International Criminal Court, for example, is something which also divides opinion. Do you feel it still commands the respect and the support that it needs to operate properly?
Well, let me be very clear. I think, again, it's very important to raise this as a principle. African states have, except for Europe as a group, I think have adhered more to International Criminal Court. Others don't even recognize it.
Yeah.
So some countries don't simply recognize it, and Africans have recognized it. And it's just when, in the judgment of many Africans, the feeling is that we are put under more pressure on matters to do with criminality than others, then the question has to be asked: is this really a court only for Africa, or is it for the world? And I think that's a legitimate observation. And I think the approach is to now say, what then are the reasons why the African group or the African states are becoming critical of this? It cannot just happen out of their imagination. There must be reasons why, on matters that appear similar, there is pressure more on Africa. Is it because Africa is considered weak? These are issues, and I think they are legitimate issues. And as I speak, I can tell you that a Nigerian is president of the ICC. So if you say Africa is not on board, I don't know which Africa you're talking about. Some African countries obviously are saying there are issues, and they have joined before. Some are questioning if things don't change, we may consider decoupling from it. But most African states have given recognition to the court. Some of the issues where there are disagreements, of course, are still issues relating to whether interpretation is needed, relating to immunities versus the court. Some of them are settled, some may not have been settled. And I think what is important is that, one, the International Criminal Court and other mechanisms are important for the world. Impunity of any kind, I think, especially crimes that are really serious, I think should be fought collectively. And those with disagreement concerning the operations of the court, I think are right to raise them and to also be listened to, and for those concerns to be addressed in an open manner. I think that is important.
So multilateralism in an age of Trump, in an age of Putin's Russia, in an age of the discord that we see in Europe at the moment. I mean, I'm half French, half English, so I don't want to talk about Brexit, but it's a live wire all the way through the politics of every single European country at the moment. This sort of nationalist turn away from multilateralism. How are you experiencing that at the UN? I know that the funding issues at the UN have become particularly complicated?
Well, I think the issue is simply that from the position of the presidency of the General Assembly, what you can observe is that you observe tensions because you see them. But tensions are part of any order that is that overarching. And reassessment by countries is legitimate. Let's be very clear about this. Would obviously want to continue to say two things. One, that multilateralism is key, and I think all countries recognize this. And I sat as President of the General Assembly with 192 countries speaking at the General Assembly. If it was completely a useless forum, I cannot see why heads of state and government will leave serious matters of state to go to New York to talk to whom. So I think beyond the rhetoric, people are trying to see whether there is another way to do it. Of course, as the United Nations, we want to continue to say that it is important for the world and that this is a platform, and certainly it will be difficult to see any major problem today that can happen outside cooperation, which is really the main reason why the UN must exist.
So will you be encouraging Nigeria to pay its dues?
Nigeria has been a very responsible member, and when people make notes as if Nigeria, I'm not talking as a Nigerian, I'm talking as President of the General Assembly, and obviously Nigeria has been a very responsible member of the organization, and it's not an issue of Nigerian money not being put. Nigeria has given even more than is required.
Okay, so it's paid. Fantastic.
Nigeria has always been responsible.
Great. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you.
That's all for this week. For more, visit theafricareport.com and sign up for our daily briefing. You can find me at Nick Norbrook on Twitter. We are at The Africa Report and also on Facebook. Do rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. And thanks for listening.